Hello, my dear Pisces. This is your love and spirituality reading for the month of October 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. We are entering into Libra season, so wish all Libras out there a happy birthday. I read for the signs in the order of most liked video, so remember to hit the thumbs up button for your sign. And you can see the order I read in this time around at the community section of my channel. Thank you all for liking, watching, commenting, donating, and subscribing to my channel. I'm so grateful for all of your appreciation. This reading can go both ways, so if I tell you that you are feeling or acting in a certain way, it can be in the reverse, that the person you are dealing with is feeling and acting in that way. The energy is the same, it's just different castings to the different roles by the universe. This message is for the people who watch it, so if you cross-watch for another sign and recognize yourself as the main person in the reading, just trust your own intuition and you will get the message you need. For this reading, I will use the Druid Craft Tarot by Philip and Stephanie Cargom, illustrated by Will Worthington, and I will start shuffling your cards. As it happens, sometimes when I do the Pisces reading, I have got a little bit of sniffles, but this time I have prepared myself with some medicine, so if it gets worse, I will take it. So, when I open your deck here, Pisces, I see the Prince of Swords and Six of Pentacles. So Prince of Swords is usually Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, and the Six of Pentacles is a card of kind of equal relationships, or trying to make equal situations where both have a win in it. But usually it's a warning card that the balance might be off. We can see here this is looking like a beggar almost, but he has actually gold here. Like a gold necklace around his neck here, and he's giving away pennies to other people, and there's pennies also here, 6 of them in the surrounding. So it's also about being the bigger person, and sometimes it's about people over functioning. Like he is probably feeling very nice for being able to give away money. It will be feeling quite opposite if he was the one taking the money here, being the beggar. So we can get a lot of our self-esteem from being very giving and abundant in this way. And some people, they get a lot of self-esteem from taking other people's stuff. And we can see this is a little bit of a warrior situation. If it would have come like this, we could have thought that this poor man here was going to become robbed. But what I'm feeling here is that we have, as I have seen in many of the other readings this time, that we have very a reading with very opposite forces. One very generous and maybe one that's not so generous. I'm not saying that Gemini and Libra Aquarius isn't generous, but this card is describing this situation. It doesn't have to be an air sign. It can be any person. It can be you also. Wants to go out and get something. Maybe you want justice for yourself. You don't want to overfunction anymore and give all that you got to people. Maybe you are going to start to defend yourself, but it might also be some kind of unjust situation that you need to work to balance up. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light. And here we have a 6 of Cups together with the 6 of Pentacles. So this is the both feminine 6s, and all 6s are connected to number 6, the Lover's card. And the 6 of Cups is about nostalgia, very sweet, sweet love. When you think about those most happy moments in your life and remember them, that's this card. The 6 of Cups is therefore called the past life and childhood card, but it's also a card about reconciliation. So some of you might be reconciling with an air sign or trying to find some kind of balance, maybe inside of yourself is what I'm feeling, to the storms in the outside world. It's like you're making your inside into a yummy, peaceful place where you are taking really good care of yourself. It might also be that you're trying to be very kind and generous to people that you love, even if they don't act particularly loving back, okay? So we'll see where it goes with this, but sixes wants to search for harmony. So I called for archangels in the four corners of the world, and here we have the strength card together with the Six of Pentacles. So someone in this reading is feeling very grown up and kind of wants to take care of other people and being the bigger person, being the one that solves things, being the one that keeps themselves calm in a storm, being the one that's not particularly petty and instead is focusing of the benefit of all. We can see that this person have put down their armors and they have the sword and they have no shield, as what the Knight of Swords had, and the horse has been transformed to a wild boar, so it's a little bit more stubborn energy. Horses can be very closely related to your deepest, most vulnerable emotion. They can also be very sexual. It can be also talking about strength and power, but the wild boar is a feeling or a kind of mindset inside of you where you don't stop at anything. So this person has this aura around them that they're not going to stop at anything because they know what they are fighting for is worth it, and they don't have a bad self-esteem anywhere, okay? So it looks like a person that wants to do good and has the ability to do a much good in the world. The strength card is Leo. Six of Cups is can be any water sign. Six of Pentacles can be any earth sign, but it can also show emotions or things that have materialized, also things we do to improve our material world. Okay, so I call the six elements, and here we have the sun and the strength card, both being Leo, talking about your soul, okay? And here we have the horse and together with a boar. So this person is naked, vulnerable, but still this strong posture with both these two people. So I'm thinking you are starting to become more and more sure of yourself because you have stepped into your soul. So you're not so easily triggered by things, and you are being less dramatic and becoming more and more grown up, and in the same time taking a lot of responsibility to not hurt or put your inner child, your most inner vulnerable space into any jeopardy. So it's very responsible. It looks nice. And this is the highest card for love in the major arcana, so it might be two people becoming more and more grown up, more and more whole, and therefore being able to join in the holy matrimony. Sometimes the sun card is also seen with twins, so it's giving us the thoughts to Gemini. So the six elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Gemini. So that's wrong. My dear Pisces, it was just because I said Gemini so many times. So it might be that some of you are really dealing with Gemini and this is important. I want my dear Pisces to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So my dear Pisces, now it's done. I will just tune in for a few seconds here. So my dear Pisces, this is your future there, and this is your now, and this is your past. And in the past we have justice. So justice is connected to Libra, and it's talking about balance and equalness, much like the Six of Pentacles. So this seems to be the main focus for your personal growth and what you are about to create in your life right now, or what you have been working on for quite some time. This is the past, so it's about September probably, but might go way back. And we have the owl and the feather there, so it's about following universal law rather than human law. And it's about your destiny also, with the spider there weaving your destiny. So it might be that someone might want to come and apologize, or you need to fight for your justice in some way, or show other people, maybe not fight with the cards that came. It was very, like, you were very cool. So I'm thinking more just showing people what's justice. Okay, and here is in the now, and here we have the strength card. So the strength card and the justice card in many decks are shifted in location. So this is number 11, and the justice card is number 8. So it kind of shows how close these cards are related. Both of them are talking about growing up, or being a very grown up in a situation, being the bigger person, taking the necessary decisions, being very calm and cool, and just knowing what's the right thing to do. So it seems like it's important that you follow your inner compass and your higher moral values. And here we have a 2 of Wands. So 11, 1 plus 1 in the Justice card is 2, and this is 2. It's also connected then with the High Priestess and Judgment and so on, and in the Major Arcana. So this is about making a decision out from your judgment skills, and from the sense of justice, and also from your intuition and your instincts. So Judgment, Justice card, High Priestess. And here you kind of have self-control. It's much like the Strength card here. The people's posture is very strong posture, not backing down, not changing what you have already decided, but standing tall and standing strong, and having self-control. It might sometimes we are fighting with ourselves to have self-control and to follow what we decided, instead of falling into some old pattern that feels yummy but we know going to lead to destruction. Okay. So next, the past here, we have the Lord. So Justice and the Lord. The Lord is Aries, as you can see there. It's a little bit Aries, and it's about strength and control, and being stubborn and not changing your mind, and also again standing tall, defending your castle, things like this. So we'll see where it goes. Okay, we have both Justice and the Lord here. It's very strong, very authoritative energies. We have the Strength card, 2 of Wands. It's a lot of self-control here, and a lot of like controlling others maybe even, and wanting things to go in a certain way. And here we have the 2 of Pentacles, so that's kind of not having any control at all. It's when life happens to us and we just need to try to juggle it and deal with whatever comes. And we have a ship going down here, so a relationship maybe that has went down here in a storm, and that might feel very unsettling. It doesn't have to be a relationship, it can be some kind of value here with a boat that's kind of gone, or threatening to be gone, and you need to deal with the problem. And of course, in this kind of situation, you need to be very strong, but you also need to recognize that some things you don't have control over. It doesn't matter how calm and cool you are if you lose the love of your life or something valuable. It's still going to hurt. So it's not about having such a cool exterior and being so much in control that you're becoming stiff and therefore can't react to the flow of life. And when things hurt, we are supposed to feel that it hurts. It's like a homage to what's valuable in your life. If you lose someone, you are not supposed to go on with a smile and just, well, it doesn't matter, because that makes you into a very cold person. And this might not be you, of course, it can be another person in your life trying to have a very, very cool exterior in a situation that might not be particularly cool at all, but actually rather unsettling. So we'll see where it goes. It's a little bit, okay, we have the 2 of Cups here. So love trumps all. And it's another 2. So we have 11, justice, that's 2. 2 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, 2 of Wands. So there's really about duality here. 2 different people maybe, or 2 different cultures. It's also about making decisions and choosing what's best for everyone in the long run. The 2 of Cups comes with an important message that there are soulmates out there for you, or people that's very important, or a certain relationship that's very important. But you are never going to become truly loved if you try to kind of subordinate yourself, the person that you love, if you give them too much power, or kind of try really hard to become loved. You become loved by being yourself through and through, and to respect yourself, and to live a life accordingly with your soul, and not trying to please people. Sometimes the 2 of Cups might indicate an imbalance where we try to please people and be very goody-good, much like the 6 of Coins card, and or 6 of Pentacles card, where we might overfunction and do a lot of things for other people. But here it might be the other way around, that someone is kind of stepping down from their high horse, realizing that they need to apologize because something has fallen out of their hands, and they really didn't want to lose it. So the 2 of Cups can be a situation where we acknowledge also what's valuable, and acknowledge that it hurts to be without it, and acknowledge that we want to fight for it and make ourselves worthy of it. So you might be dealing with like a masculine entity. It doesn't have to be a man, it can be a person, a female, or any gender that has a very cool and very grown-up attitude to things, and kind of are not easily unsettled. But here that actually seems like they become unsettled, and therefore acknowledge the value of love, a value of people, that some things will not pass by you without you shedding a tear or wishing that things would be different. So these kind of things, when things happen that are out of control, you kind of it's like we get a wake-up call. We can see this with people who have had near-death experience. They come back with a very fresh attitude to life and how to live it, and they seem to see more value in life, and why they are here, and they're really starting to value the big things like love and social situations, but also their life mission. So it might be some kind of wake-up call have happened here, but maybe not that big. It's just 2 of Pentacles. So it's more like the risk of change, or things falling out of your hands, so you're losing control. So it's not like big things, but it's enough apparently to make someone see the value here of certain things, people, situations in their lives. And here we have the Lord transforming to the Prince of Wands. He still holds the staff, but he's now much younger and much more passionate, and flying forward on his brown horse here over the hills. So it seems like he has made a decision here, and he had the flash there on his wand, and now he's kind of have turned into the flash. So this is Aries, this is Sagittarius. It's much younger, more... it's an arrow-headed energy that's kind of rushing over the landscape. So this is someone that's determined. They have made a decision. They have seen a value, and they want to go and get it. So it might be that you have seen something that you really appreciate with life, and you want to have more of it, like creating your a dream in some way. It might also be that you have fallen in love with someone and you want that person, or it might be that a person like this wants you. Okay. And here it's starting to get a little bit serious, because here we have Cernunnos, and we have seen like one person having a lot of authority, and maybe not always thinking of other people's best interest when taking what they need, like with the Knight of Swords card that we saw. But we also have seen another side of this where a person is very calm, cool, generous, doing things to improve the world instead of just improving their own ego. Okay, but here it circles back to this this thing here. It's like a little bit of a battleground. 15, 1 plus 5 is 6. It's connected to the Lovers card, and we see the Lovers here, and here's the Devil, Cernunnos. And I'm trying to grasp to what I'm feeling with this card. I'm feeling that I'm a person that might not care that much for other people, but I care what I can get and what I can amuse myself with, and how I can improve my life or empower myself, and maybe laugh a little bit when things go not so good for other people. So I'm thinking this is a little bit this selfish, imperialistic energy that we have seen in the world for quite some time. People taking over other people's countries or stealing their resources with oil, diamond, gold, or lithium or whatever, like what we have seen in the later years with trying to find very rare metals in countries that aren't ours. So we're creating a lot of havoc over the world because we want stuff. We can see with poor Africa that has been divided into very straight lines because of people like this that wanted things that weren't really theirs. I'm thinking it's an old way of being meeting a new way of being, like an old way, like caveman mentality. I want to go and grab what's mine or what I can put my hands on, and a more loving, grown-up situation where we can actually, evolve from this old mentality into something that would gain us more in the long run. Because if we don't have so much wars like on a worldly arena or in our relationships, we will probably become much more happy. Some people, of course, get a lot of adrenaline rushes and kicks from being at war and running around with guns, or running around with feeling very powerful amongst their friends and relatives and with their partner, and feeling like they can control other people or make them obey to them or give them what they have. It's like almost like a robbery going on here. Okay, so but it's very there's genuine feelings in the bottom here. There's real love in the bottom here. It's just that this person might not have evolved their love from the sense of, okay, I like that guy or I like that girl, so I'm going to drag her by the hair and into my cave. So it's not the best way to show love and get mutual respect and love for the future. It might be like a good way to get instant gratification, but we're not building anything for the future. It's just like a predator just taking what it wants in this second. So we'll see where it goes with this. And we have the World. So here comes the divine feminine in its most highest form. It's the last card of the major arcana, talking about when we kind of are on our highest path towards highest destiny. We have completed the lap. We have understand everything we needed to do, and we are almost we have heightened ourselves, so we are almost stepping into a new dimension, or we are stepping into a new dimension. For example, when we die, I talked about near-death experience, but this is almost like when we have died and been one with God. Okay, so this is an energy that's also prominent on Earth with people that loves genuinely and are not scared for anything. They just want to take in more love and more harmony and make things better and heal the wounded and take care of the frightened and create more like love and abundance. So this is very two different energies. But I'm hoping this is the energy that will win in the end. People that have put down their arms but are still in full self-respect and very stubborn because they know what needs to be created. So I'm thinking, Pisces, you need to remember chivalry love, like the highest form of love. Don't fall for any bullshit thing, like a person that wants instant gratification with you and then can toss you away like you were garbage. Don't fall for that, even if you think that that's the only love you can get at this earth. So try to heighten yourself above this. One way to end this kind of situation is, of course, to starve it out. If you don't feed it anymore, who will try to take this person in her hair into a cave? I think it will be a little bit of a challenge. So a person that really loves themselves and are like this altruistic and in the same time so full of self-respect, they are really like the new icons or leaders in our future that we can follow, like people that are not into power and politics or leader of your family or tribe just because they feel exhilarated with the power, but they actually want to create something beautiful in the world. Here, the world card. So this is going on the worldly arena, but when you start to, look at the person in the mirror and fix that person, you're actually fixing the world. So if you don't allow this energy to bully you in your everyday life, you're actually healing the whole world by this action. So I'm thinking that this is a probably very attractive and exciting person, yummy, okay, but we need to kind of rise above this a little bit if we are going to evolve. We can't just, but she's so gorgeous, she's so good looking, I don't care if she will blew me off tomorrow, or I don't care if this guy will have several different lovers, just if I can get a piece of this person because they are so attractive and like an alpha person for some reason. I think we all can tend to fall for this lower drives of attraction, but if we can heighten ourselves a little bit and kind of have a little bit self-control, maybe we can harvest this beautiful masculine energy for where it's needed, maybe to make babies, I don't know, but not let it rule our worldly arenas or our family dynamics or our partner dynamics. It's not important in those situations. Okay, it might be important for not repercussions. It's for making babies, okay, but it's not important when it comes to who is going to do what in a relationship. It needs to be equalness, okay. So Four of Swords. So this is how this divine masculine energy inside a feminine person or a male person will feel when you no longer give it the right attention that it's used to. Okay, Four of Swords. We are not happy with this, but we understand our limits and that we won't be able to drag this person into the cave and have our way with them. So it's not, you're not making this person happy, but it was also what you were supposed to, stop doing, trying to make people happy just so it would be harmony. Now you have a higher agenda here, a higher mission to heighten and evolve the human interaction. Start with your own relationships, okay? Don't give in to this energy. So, Four of Swords. It's like this song with Dua Lipa. New rules. So I'm thinking I'm going to put that song in the description box, so you will have like a lot of rules you can follow to keep your self-control around this very attractive person, and of course make them a little bit grumpy, but they will evolve and learn what's really is love when you don't give them this instant gratification and just feed the monster here, okay? And then we have a King of Cups instead. And King of Cups is, of course, Pisces, comes underneath Two of Pentacles and Cernunnos. So Pisces can be either the little bit predator here or the very high kind of Jesus energy. Because Jesus was trying to learn this beautiful energy to the masculine 2000 years ago. This still hasn't really come true, okay? It's more often that people with a feminine way of living is more likely to follow the teaching of the great spiritual leaders than the more masculine side of people. But this is Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, so a water. It doesn't have to be you. It can be like a water sign you are dealing with as well. Justice, Prince of Wands, King of Cups. I'm thinking this is what it wants to transform to. This is like the evolution door. If you go to this door number 1, you will become a nicer person and you will understand the value of love above power. So this is what's on the agenda here for this one person at least, is going to learn more of the value of love. So this might be first, they might be like this, but then they will turn like this, because love is a very beautiful carrot that you can have in front of a person, and they might want to change because of that, but you can't rely on that. And we can see if this is two different people, they are having their back turned towards each other. So it might be silent treatment from this person's side, but from this person's side, it's probably more forgiving. It's maybe you are taking in a little bit of this person's way of being and deciding that I can be equally strong and stubborn and care as little as you do. So it's two very stubborn energies butting head here. The Aries and the Wild Boar maybe. Okay, so next card is the Star card. So it shows that this is exactly where the divine wanted you, on this spot, doing this thing, because you have a higher mission to evolve as a human race. And sometimes you help people evolve by putting more pressure onto them and not just giving in to every whim or desire. If they can fight a little bit or work a little bit for what they want to have, they might also value this a little bit more. And it comes here, the Lord, Cernunnos, and the Star card. So it's like the caveman evolving, maybe finally getting this with the great spiritual teachings. So that would be wonderful. Okay, so I will actually read the Star card for you, because this is the outcome. And it seems very important. I didn't talk so much of it. Maybe I think it's very obvious what it's all about. But it's about hope, healing. It's about having a mission on earth, having the divine helping you. Being sent down here with like one other person that you're supposed to do this mission with. When you return to this river of life, it's when you go through the gateway to the next dimension. But so one might be very hasty into this very spiritual realm, and one other might take more time, and also thereby getting more experience. So it doesn't talk about like one energy is like it's a caveman energy, so it's lesser souls. It's not like that. All souls are pretty much equal. It's just that we are choosing different lives and different kinds of awareness. Like one body might have a much greater possibilities for awareness than another body. So it can be very helpful for a soul to go down in a body that might not be as aware as another body could be, because this is going to give a lot of valuable experience. So to take this detour doesn't have to be worse than to rush down to the sea. Okay, it's dawn on a spring morning. In the sky we can still just make out the stars, the constellation of Ursa Minor, whose 7 stars point to the 8th star of Polaris, the celestial North Pole. The 7 stars on the headband of the lady in card 3 suggest that in the star we may be seeing the lady once more, although this time no longer pregnant, as she pours water into a pool and onto the rocks where the water flows in 5 different directions. She may remind us too of the woman depicted in the card's numerology counterpart, strength card. Here we have the strength card. In the distance we can see part of an old stone circle hinting at ancestors' knowledge of star lore, and the pool we see could be the well of Styx, the otherworldly source of the river Boyne, or maybe the river Styx. We also have her, of course, this person here in the world card, and the world card is 21. 2 plus 1 is 3. So therefore I'm saying it's connected to the divine feminine. The calm and the healing power of waters enters your life. It has never really been absent, but now you're open to an inner, deeper spiritual understanding and experience of water, as held by the ancient who revered all manifestation of the goddess as water. So the goddess, she is water, the water element, and you are water element too, Pisces. Spring, brooks, rivers, seas were all seen as her abode or manifestation and were revered. Well became sources of healing, and prayers and offering were made there to the goddess. Here we see the lady, but skylight naked, now to symbolize the purity and innocence of her power. She is natural as can be. The water flows constantly from the jugs she holds, depicting the infinite potential inherent in life. The water flows both into the pool and onto the land, symbolizing the life-giving and healing power of the goddess, flowing into the inner and outer worlds alike. The 5 directions that the water takes over the rock reminds us of the story of Cormac, recounted in The Hermit, in which the 5 streams from the well of Styx symbolize the 5 senses. So the 5 senses, you know this. It's eyesight, smell, hearing, and so on. Okay. The pool reminds us of still pool of spirit that refreshes us in the inner world, and from which the wise drink in addition to the water from the 5 streams. The image is one of completeness, of wholeness, and of healing. The water flows with no interruption or blockage, and the card urges you to nothing but be, to bask in the contentment of knowing that you are connected to the goddess, to the divine that flows through all existence. The card's numerology counterpart, strength, number 8, 1 plus 7 is 8. Okay, those 2. Speaks of a gentle strength that unites our instinctive powers with our compassionate awareness. Here we see the same power at the higher, deeper octave. The strength is of connection with the source of life, and it unites us with our intuition in the deepest ways, like instincts, the strength card. Just as the stars of Ursa Minor point to the celestial pole, so we are connected to our inner compass, opening us to the guidance of the divine center, which is one with all of creation. So your instincts and your intuition is pointing to the star card, this card. Okay. As Rachel Pollack says of the star, here the gentle passion of strength reaches its fullest expression. So I hope that made a little bit of sense. It's hard with all these old Celtic names. They might not come up as good as on Google Translate. But if you buy the bigger version of Druidcraft Tarot, it has this book as well. There's a smaller version that has a little bit of shorter text, and a bigger version that have this more extended book. So I will also take a Sacred Rebel Oracle card for you, Pisces, to see what's going on with you in October. So probably that one. So, new birth, guarded vigilantly. Okay. So, okay. In every creative process, in every birth, in every opening of a new cycle of life, the world, ending a new beginning, there is a time of vulnerability. This vulnerability is natural and appropriate. It is the fool learning to become steady on its legs. Those legs will become remarkably powerful in time, but the process of growth and maturity has to take place, and that requires some wobbly first attempts. It cannot be in any other way. Within you, perhaps even below the level of your conscious awareness, there is a fresh new life emerging like a vibrant green shoot rising up from the earth. This new life is in need of your attention and your care. This could be a new relationship that needs tending with inner interest and kindness. It could be a new idea that you need to nurture into fullness because it is going to hold special purpose for your life path. It might be something within you, a new behavior, a new way of looking at yourself, or a new way of being in the world that you need to tend to until it becomes more natural for you to embody. This is more significantly so if you have also drawn the Oracle of Defend to the end or the worthwhile. If you feel drawn to drawing either or... that was too much information. So we skip to pay appropriate respect to the message of these cards, and you will reap great spiritual benefit and emotional well-being. If you have also, it's a lot of drawn other cards. Okay, I'll read this. It's the defend to the end the worthwhile, and then it's the of she feels she knows. So defend to the end is the strength card, but it's also she feels she knows, because I just described to you the instinct, the intuition is going to lead to the star card. So you have this beautiful strength, but you also you have this beautiful also connection to the divine. You must pay attention to the new life emerging for you now, or that you will soon sense. You must not be careless and think it doesn't matter. It matters greatly. Being careless now is akin to killing off the idea before it has a chance to grow strong enough to withstand the criticism, jealousy, or sabotage by darker consciousness in others or yourself. So this is this light consciousness that wants to come true and transform the world. This energy is going to have to give away some of their strength and some of their power to kind of a new energy that's it's not subordinate to any power other than the divine and synchronicity and things that's out of our control, but it's not going to be shamed into kneeling in front of any energy that is a little bit rude, okay? So this is going to have to yield for a more higher vibrating type of human behavior. So this is what I feel is being born here with you, Pisces. Yes, jealousy, sabotage. We don't have to be frightened of destructive energies. See if I can... Yes, like that. Okay, it exists in nature and in us and is a part of life. We do, however, need to be intelligent to its potential power and stay centered in our heart and in our wisdom to avoid its ill effect upon that which we are nurturing into life. So the Two of Wands here is much needed, having self-control, not letting anyone put you down. You will not always need to cloak that which is young. Soon enough it will be able to stand up for itself, but for now your vigilance and care is most certainly required. Hug your ideas to yourself through, though they were a new lover you cannot bear to share with another. In time, the world will be the lover receiving the love in your idea. For now, it is for you to love, for you to hold, and for you to observe. Only love those proven to be trustworthy to support you in this, those who can handle the frequency or vibration of what you are seeking to nurture. Some may love you, but be frightened of what you are creating. Stay true to yourself and your creative power, and be wise as to whom you invite into your inner sanctum to witness this new life emerging. So you're not going to have particularly much support from this energy here. It's actually going to be threatened by this, because you are threatening to take away the very foundation of their power. If nobody cares about like a power junkie anymore and says, oh, that's this person again shouting, we do something else, we go this way, they will lose all their power. So it's big things at stake here, and they might not even realize that they are about to lose their power. It will just happen, and they will be sitting like this and, oh, what happened? And these people, even if they are your husband or wife or parents or best friend, they can't really help you in this situation. You need to go this way a little bit alone, and know that it's like you just need to love yourself, okay? You just need to love and respect yourself, and this will make you shrug off all the old world's power games, okay? This oracle also brings particular guidance about keeping your inner sanctuary pure. This may be your room, a sacred place you visit, or your own body in which you retreat in relaxation or meditation. Sometimes you will find that others have taken up residency in your sanctuary. Perhaps an argument that you cannot let go of has another living in your head. A suffering that has not been acknowledged and released can feel like a big old dirty suitcase of emotional baggage cluttering up the temple space of your heart. So what you can do when you have these kind of things is what I have been teaching you for 2 years, 3 years, 2 years at least, is to stay with that pain, okay? Write down the quarrels in your head and stay with the pain for a while, okay? Decide like, okay, now enough is enough. When you are satisfied with it, for example, when you write things down, you will have it on paper, so your mind doesn't have to obsess with it anymore. You write it down so you will remember it. And the pain just needs attention, your attention and love to heal. So when you have given a certain amount of time to these mindfulness exercises to feel the body as it is, even with the dirty suitcase in place, you can also send this energy to like the universal mother. I'm imagining it to be a big black hole in the center of our galaxy, and it's coming out, it's shooting out like light in the end. I put it in and it shoots out like light. So everything that's put in the face of light will self become light. So shadow can't prevail in the eyes of sun, for example. If you put the sun into a dark room, it won't be dark anymore, but you can't put dark in a sunny room. It's very hard. So what you do then is to focus on purity, light, love, and compassion that dwells within you. So that can be like breathing in light, for example, or it can be focusing on small things in your surrounding or in yourself that you are grateful for. Oh, I love this rug, or look at that beautiful painting, or I can feel it smells from my flower in the window, or whatever small thing. It just heightens your vibration in an instant after you have done this more mindfulness exercises. Purity, light, love, and compassion that dwells within you. Everything else will come and go, and that's just fine. It's like the weather. But the purity within your sanctuary is eternal. You can come back to it to refresh your spirit and gain resources to help you deal with the rest of the world and even your own darker moments anew. It will give you the peace and spaciousness of mind you need to recognize the new life that's coming and to compassionately but firmly denounce any intrusion upon the new life by doubt, fear, or sabotage. So I was seeing something else while I was talking. And yes, also one thing, other thing that I have learned is to, we actually have another card, After the Storm is behind. After the Storm, I think it came from Leo. You can check it out there. I read it there. So a shock. Okay, so I will try to remember what I was talking about here. Another kind of, yes, to just acknowledge that you don't have so much problems, okay? It's a lot of problems that's in your head and just going on there, but they are not actually happening here in this second, now, today, okay? So a lot of your problems is just your mind keeping you occupied with giving it energy. Sometimes the mind can be a little bit obsessive like that. It wants all your attention, much like this energy here. And if you kind of, every time you realize that you're thinking about this problem, you start to either feel your inside of your body and putting attention to what you currently just hurt, because when we are thinking painful thoughts, we are hurting our biological system and stressing it out. So you can feel immediately, maybe you have made your stomach nervous, or you feel some pressure over your heart, or it's hard to breathe. So you can give that attention, and that will probably take you out of the route of thinking. And when you start to think again, you go back to your body, feel your body, and stay with the pain, and then you will start thinking again. And when you realize you're thinking, you go back to the body. But you can also just heighten your frequency with this, with gratefulness, or just realizing I don't have any problems. Focus on something beautiful. Sit and meditate in the sunset. Something that will help you to get out of the routine of thinking troublesome thoughts and making your life miserable when it's actually not. The roof isn't falling down in this second. I need to touch wood, so I touch my head and the wood of my ceiling to make sure I didn't jinx it. Okay, so my dear Pisces, this was a little bit an awkward reading. So it seems like you're going through some really rough patches with people that's actually, I'm thinking you have a great deal of love for them, but they're not particularly supportive at all. And then they won't like the new you, okay? They won't like the new ideas. They might be trying to use silent treatment or ghosting you even, but kind of don't focus on that. Try to focus on this, what you are trying to create here, like a heaven on earth. So that's more nice. So this will actually make your life more happy also in an instant, and you don't have to go back to the old way of living where you were controlled maybe by someone else's mood, or lack of good mood, maybe a very bad mood. Oh no, they're in a bad mood, I will try to make them happy. But here you have self-control enough to not make them happy, okay? And you have self-control enough to take control over your thoughts and to heal your body and to heighten your frequency. So you need to be strong here and to not just, give in to what's comfortable and easy and your old routine of thinking bad thoughts and missing someone that might not really be worth missing in this case. They probably needs to evolve before your roads can cross again. And it might take a week, it might take years, or maybe in the next life. It can be different for different people. But it seems like you are really doing something very, very important here. And it might change the world forever, what you are doing in your little small life. And it's also going to reflect on the world arena eventually. Okay, so my dear Pisces, I welcome you back to my my November reading that I will do in mid-month of October. And I want you to take really, really good care until then. Be strong, be calm, be cool, and love yourself and respect yourself with no end, okay? Bye-bye.